This is my latest adventure here, my multilingual flashcard app. I call it the Glossica Killer because it is the template I used was the sentences. Remember those books that I would carry for Vietnamese going to the coffee shop? Though I use that as the English sentences, and this is 1,000 times better. So anyway, at the top, session setup, and the current version 0.9.26. Next to the title is about this app, tells you what you need to know about the app, and then admin. It's only for me, the administrator, where I can upload. I pick the language I want to upload, and then I can upload the latest spreadsheet for both the sentences and the vocabulary. I can download all the TTS files. These are the voices that I selected from 11 labs. Flag pronunciations, here I can mess with that, and then I can export the data. If I here I can edit each sentence, and if I edit it, I can export it if I want. Okay, back. So as you can see here, I've got all these delicious languages here. Let's just do Vietnamese, and then here you can select either to study sentences or just vocabulary words or numbers. When I'm learning a language, I often have difficulty deciphering the numbers. I can understand what they say, and then they say a number, and it's like, wait, whoa, I didn't catch that. So for me, number practice is important. Okay, sentences. And then if you want to show on the card when you first flip it, when you first start the session, it could be Vietnamese or English, or just say the target language and the base language. You can choose north or south, etc. Here you can see there's the menu. It tells what each of these functions are, right? So, and then here for extra review, I will tell you a little bit more about that later. Every 5 cards, or for example, every 10 cards, to review the extra cards every 10 cards, and you select the speed that you want your speech to be. So let's do one time. And here you enable the extra review, blah, blah, blah. You can start a new session or resume a session if you've interrupted it. So let's start a new session.
Vì học tiếng Anh được 6 tháng rồi.
So at the top, you can return to the main menu, or you can about the app, or you can change the language you want to study at any time. At the top of the card, you have a microphone, and the commands for the voice commands for the microphone are at the bottom. Go back, go next, say female, say male, etc. The next to that, you have a magnifying glass. You can search in all the entire list. If you want to look for a word or phrase, you can find all instances of that. If you see it on a card and you say, I want to see what other sentences there are, you can do that here, either the sentence list or the vocab list. Next to that is the flag, which is you flag a pronunciation issue. If I think there's a problem with the pronunciation, I flag it and I can review it and re-download it later. I believe that's just for the admin. I can't remember what I opted for. Next is the grammar. I'm going to later expand that. I'm going to have ChatGPT or Claude or somebody give me much broader, deeper explanations for grammar. And then I can edit the card if I want, but I believe that's also just for the admin. So you can flip the card just by hitting on any of the white spot of the card. So the target language, and then for Vietnamese I have Northern and Southern.
Vì học tiếng Anh được 6 tháng rồi.
The first time a sound is played, it takes a second or two download from the cloud, but after that it
Vì
says it
học
right
tiếng Anh
away.
được 6 tháng rồi.
Vì học tiếng Anh được 6 tháng rồi. Vì học tiếng Anh được 6 tháng rồi.
That's the female, and this
Vì
is
học
the
tiếng Anh được 6 tháng rồi.
the male, and this is slow speed.
Vì học tiếng Anh được 6 tháng rồi.
So this is for extra, add extra. Say like, well, I'm having trouble with the sentence and I want to do extra reviews. So I click on this and it adds to the extra reviews. And so I selected 10 for every 10 cards. So if I'm studying 100 and I select 10 extra review, every 10 cards, the cards in the extra review will replay. So at 10, that means in 100 cards that I'm studying, they will be reviewed 10 times. And below that is the easy, practice, or hard. So this is your own personal feeling, how well you think you know the sentence. If it's easy, you don't really need to study it ever, or maybe rarely, you pick easy. If you know it kind of, but you still need practice, you select 2. If you don't know it or you're having a hard time, you select 3. And on the main menu, you can select which level you will study, so you can separate it out. And then below that, there's the keyboard shortcuts. If you're on a computer, you can use the keyboard instead of the mouse. And a really nice feature is if you, for example, click on a word, it gives you all the instances of words that have that base word, many words, and then below that, example sentences that has that word. And then a very nice feature I've never seen anyplace else is if it's a long sentence and you want to break it up, you couldn't understand the whole thing together. For example, I want to start from ein, so I do a long press.
Anh được 6 tháng rồi.
It'll start, instead of reading the whole thing, it'll start from just that place. So for me, it's perfect because a lot of times it's a long sentence and it's like, wait, I can't catch that. So I just want to practice that part. So there you go. What do you think, boys? Isn't it awesome? Yes, it is.